listening to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, presented by Brandon Elliott. This show will be going over all aspects of real estate investing and is intended to educate, motivate, and prepare you to take action on your first or next real estate investment. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Thank you for listening and enjoy.
What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Brandon Elliott. Excited to be with you on this Easter weekend. Depends on when you guys are listening to this, but this past Friday for the overall beginning of the weekend for Easter, it's been, Good Friday. It was an amazing day. And so I want to give you guys some updates first off of where we're at in the market and my beliefs and some updates with what is going on. But before we get into that, I heard this cool story, this biblical story that really inspired me. It impacted me. And I wanted to kind of share it with you guys really quick. So as you guys know, Good Friday, right, is the day that Jesus died for our sins. And so when he was being crucified, it ended up, he shouted out in English terms, "It is finished," right? And so it is finished in English. The Greek word that he actually used back then was Tetelestai. And so the meaning behind that's very, very powerful because it actually means three different things. And I thought it was really, really amazing the way that it's basically just how it wraps all up and is used. See, one word or one of the meanings is this. It's a judiciary context in court, basically, that is stating that it is completely served. Like whatever the sentencing was, whatever the situation was, it's been completely served. You're good to go. You're checked off, no more issues, right? Another meaning behind it would be kind of like the ancient Greek receipts back then to show that debt was paid in full would be another meaning behind Tetelestai. So basically just stating that your debt is paid in full, like a receipt at a grocery store, right? Debt's paid in full, you're good to go. And then the last one, which is really cool, is a military term back then that was used for Tetelestai that basically just shouted out like a victory has been won, a battle has been won. And so those three pieces right there, in court, the meaning behind it, been served, good to go, military, victory has been won, and then the receipt has been paid in full. Pretty powerful for one full word, right? And so what that's basically stating, when he shouted out, "It is finished," Tetelestai, he was basically saying like your debt or your sin has been paid in full. Like the judgment against you, it's been paid in full and is fully served. The spiritual battle that was going against death, sin, and Satan, the devil, it has been won. And any judgments against you have been fully served. So very, very powerful. I thought it was just one of those things that I was like, wow, like how incredible. See, at the end of the day, if you think of it like this, we all have the sinful nature. We make mistakes all the time. We sin daily. And think of it as like a child. When you're raising a kid, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to lie. They're going to steal. They're going to do things that need to be corrected, right? And so you may reprimand your child and, smack them on the butt or put them in timeout or, scold them in some form or fashion. And they don't want these things, right? And so in these circumstances, the child can have messed up greatly, lied, stealed, cheated on a test, like do all these bad things, sinned. And they know the consequences behind their actions, and they're getting ready to take the beating, right? The whooping, because that is the consequences, and they know that, and they're going into it from their sinful nature. This is the consequences. We know this. However, it's as if instead of getting the consequences, somebody else, like your father, took the beating for you and just totally took the unnecessary, your whooping that you should have received fully, took all of that from you so that you can live internally with him and not like so that he doesn't have to do life without you. And it is so powerful in so many ways, and it's just so like eye-opening, like something that we don't deserve, we shouldn't have. He still gave us the opportunity. See, God's word is always going to be, it's always exactly how he states it. He's never lied. He's never gone back on his word. He's never changed his word. His word is exactly how it is. So if he stated it, it is done. And so that's why the devil, like when God said there's consequences behind sinful nature and so forth, like you're separating yourself away from me, and you will not, there's consequences behind it. The devil's pointing at him, and saying like, see the world, see what they did, like this is their thing, like now you have to do this, you have to exclude them from you and out of heaven. It's like now there has to be a separation. You did this, you have to keep your word. And in all of that, still, God still kept his word. He came back down as a human on earth to be with us, to show us his power, to be able to show that he is real, and to be able to complete his word and die on the cross and take the whooping for our consequences, our sin, and still allow us to do life with him and give us, clean us from all of our sinful nature. And it was just so freaking powerful. And and it's just one of those things that I was like, man, this is so incredible, so incredible. And so it just shows that he is still alive, still won, and rises on the third day, celebrating Easter. And so I don't know if that resonates with you or if I delivered it properly, but when I ended up soaking it up and hearing this part, Tetelestai, understanding the full meaning behind it and the power behind all of that, it was so humbling. And so I don't know what you've come with, like, or where you're at right now in life, and what you've been through, and the stress or the consequences, the fear, the sin that you're going through each and every day. If you're separating yourself from God, from the sinful nature, because every time that you're actively and knowingly jumping into sin, you're obviously separating yourself from God. And we will sin no matter what, but that's where we repent. That's where and you might not even be aware of it. You may be making mistakes and, still separating yourself. That's why it's important to come back to him each and every day and like focus and repent and draw yourself in. But so again, don't know where you're coming from. Don't know where you're at. All I know is that if you woke up today, if you woke up being able to stand up on your 2 feet, or shoot, if you don't have 2 feet and you're standing up on nubs or whatever, like understand that you woke up today and you're listening to this, then you are in a powerful position, and it's all glory to God, and you have another opportunity to make a change and make a shift and to declare greatness within your life. And so again, it's something that hit me like a ton of bricks for many reasons. I feel like the last couple of months, full transparency, full brutal honest here on social media, right, is it's not all glitz and glamour. It's not all like Lamborghinis and hot chicks, or like your workout poses and everything. There's some rawness behind the scenes that it's like, man, sometimes work, sometimes business, sometimes life, it can just be difficult. It can be hard. And the more that you're focusing on trying to do everything yourself, it's a good reminder of sitting back and realizing like, hey, especially in my role, like, right, like many of us are like the CEOs of your company or the visionary. And so you have all these ideas, you have all these things. Like one of my talents is really problem solving and coming up with a solution quickly. And in some of our situations, when it gets chaotic or too much is going on, so many problems, it's like, man, I start getting analysis paralysis, right? And it's just start making it more difficult to actually solve problems, and even start stirring up like, well, what is the problem? And it's like, there's so many things. And so I think it's important to step back for a second, and I haven't done it yet, truthfully. I'm just vomiting this out to you guys, so you guys could soak it up or not. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people will resonate with this potentially. And just because I haven't done it yet, stepping back, I do plan on it, and I need to commit to that within the next couple of weeks, within the next week or two. Ideally, stepping back, taking that time out and like looking from that 10,000 foot view or 30,000 foot view and like really being stepped out of it and seeing like, hey, what is not working and what is working? What feels right and what feels wrong? Like, what is the true problem? Let's really stir up and like find what is the true problem and what is stuff that we are talking about right now that doesn't really need that time, energy, and attention. What is going to pay the bills? Because sales cures all problems, right? And like, what is just stirring up chaos, right? And something that can be put on the back burner for a little bit. And so I think it's crucial to remind yourself of some of these things and to hone in on, hey, sometimes it's important to just take a couple steps back. Sometimes it's important to count the gratitude and count, like take a look back for a second and realize, man, how far have we come? How far have we come? And our God that we serve is not somebody that just dangles a carrot. He's not just going to dangle a carrot over you and like trying to, get you. Like he wants the best for us. He wants the absolute best for us. And why wouldn't he? Like we are his children, right? It's just like when you have kids, it's like you want to give your child the absolute best. He's also given us free will. So we will automatically have free will instead of being robotic and doing whatever he says. It's like we have the opportunity to make our own decisions and to, listen to his word and what works or make decisions on our own. And so my goal is to really lean back and take the certain pressure and strains and things that are slowing me down or making things feel chaotic and realizing like if I take my steps out of it, then maybe it isn't so chaotic and I'm just feeling the unnecessary pressure that doesn't need to be. And then allowing God to, maneuver through the business and run the business that is his anyway, right? And so I get, every day I wake up, I get the opportunity to serve and do something that makes me proud and gets me excited and something that I'm passionate about, and teaching people how to get funding, how to be able to get massive amounts of funding with the best terms and best conditions, right? The best financing options. We call it smart money, right? Smart financing. And when you get $2, $3, $4, $500,000 plus with interest rates as low as 0%, what that could do for you, whether you already have a business or not. And what it's done for me is jump into real estate and be able to just do amazing things. I'm very, very grateful for. So if I get the opportunity to wake up and have another day to do it and be able to serve other people and show them how I did it and how you could potentially do it too, then that's a huge win for me. So I encourage you, wherever you're at, whatever you've been through, take a moment, smell the flowers, realize how, look back for a second, realize how far you've come, because it's very common for us to count all the negative things and beat ourselves up. But sit in that moment of gratitude of like some of the things that are going right, some of the things that you've already been through and accomplished, and realize like, man, you've however the day is, if it's good, bad, and different, it doesn't matter. It's something. It could be worse. It could always be worse. It could be better, of course, but it could always be worse. And so count your blessings, realize that God's not a God that dangles a carrot. You can and you will overcome this. You will see this through. You will be able to prosper through it if you give yourself that opportunity to take some steps back, figure out what's really going on, find the real missing pieces here, and then allow God to really steward you, mentor you, and run his business that you are gifted to wake up and serve. So that's my 2 cents behind it. I hope that resonates with somebody. I know it, if it doesn't, it resonates with me, and I needed to just at least shout it out for myself today. So with that being said, a couple things on the market that I want to talk about. And so I've been bringing this up in the past, and I think it is worthwhile to state again. Right now, actually, I feel more, it could just be the season that I'm in, the last at least week or so of uncertainty and confusion. We will break those off and get more clarity. But as far as the market goes, I don't know, is what I would say. About a week or two ago, I felt like everything that I was thinking and seeing for the last 4 or 5 months is exactly how I thought it would take place. It's very, very to the point where I'm like, that all makes sense. But now I'm still kind of, I have some ideas, so I'll share it with you. But the market in general, right? When tariffs came out, it scares everybody at first. It's actually, tariffs have always been around. We've been getting rocked by so many countries by unfair trades and so forth. And so starting this trade war, if you want to call it that, it's really just getting to an even level playing ground. And so when, within hours, having 50 plus countries, within the next few days reach out to us once we start President Trump, raising up these tariffs, because we are basically giving next to nothing for inventory that's coming in, and we are getting charged an arm and a leg for all these other countries. Let's get even playing grounds. Within the first couple of days, everybody's reaching out, 50 plus countries reaching out and trying to get to even playing grounds. And if not, almost close to like a 0 for 0 trade. Incredible, right? It doesn't get much better than that. And then other countries are going to be stubborn and really put on a fight for it. We'll see how long that takes. There's a lot of money that's being lost on those sides, and it's going to scare a lot of people. But the simple fact is, what I do love about Trump is that he doesn't do anything behind the scenes. He uses the market and his influence to state it exactly how it is and shake up the world, shake up the country, shake up the world, literally, and have everybody seeing it. And that drama and that like soap opera feel to it, his bluntness starts everybody talking about it, getting fearful, all these what ifs and things. It scares everybody, and all that drama starts getting up into these leaders' faces, and they're like, shit, something has to take place. He's crazy. He's doing all this stuff. It's out of the ordinary. It's like nobody else does this. We normally do it behind scenes, behind doors, and scare people a little, but try to negotiate. Like, he's just doing it. This is exactly what it is. It's not fair. It's not right. We're stopping it. Tomorrow it's up to 100%. It's like, what? As everybody freaks out, and now that drama starts getting people to realize that something needs to take place. All these, like I said, a lot of these countries are renegotiating with us, which is great, pausing things for a little bit until things settle. I'm sure that's going to work out in our favor. The ones that aren't will, I believe, compromise, or there could be, this is the uncertainty part that I'm not sure of. There could be some tariff wars, like legit wars from this, that could turn into cyber wars. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But praying that it doesn't. But if it does, it does. And it's one of those things, like, something needs to take place. We need to get on even playing grounds. In China, for example, like, how many millions upon millions of companies in America here start with incredible entrepreneurs, incredible business owners, incredible just inventors, right? That come up with a product, come up with a service, come up with something, start outsourcing in China to be able to get it delivered and prepared and built and shipped over here. And then their IP is stolen overnight. Right when it starts hitting a couple $1 million sold, they're like, oh, that's great. We'll steal it. And then is selling it for pennies on the dollars to as competitors, and there's nothing that we can do for their legal system over there. It's a complete nightmare. It's a complete mess, and it needs to change. It needs to be even playing grounds, right? Because of the tariffs, because of the shock, like I said, Trump loves to do like public stuff and scare people, but that's great because it really stirs up the emotion even more. It's not just behind the scene and everybody around you feels good, so it feels comfortable, and you're just thinking about it yourself as the country leader. It's driving everybody crazy. So now it's not just the country leader seeing it, you have everybody around you looking at you with all that pressure as the leader, and it's like, something's got to give. And it's like that tension is great. It's a great sales tactic, marketing strategy. It's great. And we've seen the ROI from it, and it will turn out, I believe, victorious. Now, what this does, what's the ripple effect from this? Tariffs drives the market crazy. Stocks plummet, right? Stocks plummet, and then they've leveled out a little bit, but stocks plummeted numerous times, and crypto follows right now. Like the stock market, if you don't know, it follows it very closely, about a week or two off. And so we're supposed to be in a crypto bull market right now. And I do believe that will take place soon enough. I think it's just one of those situations that it's scary to the market, and it's actually in our favor. because at the end of the day, the Fed, Jerome Powell, he still isn't lowering the rates. And realistically, he needs to, because we have, I think it's about $6 trillion that's coming due or something, some big number. It's a lot, and it's coming up in the next few months that needs to be refinanced. It needs to be refinanced. And if it doesn't, it's going to be an absolute mess. And so the stocks going down scares people. They sell and they put their money into something more safe, like bonds. The bonds, the Fed can't, afford to pay 8% or whatever on these bonds. So then therefore they will lower the rates, right? When more people are buying bonds, the actual rates will lower. And so this is something that will naturally force the Fed to lower rates. Keep in mind, regardless, there will be a little bit in all markets, in all cycles. Like, this is the longest one in history that we've had for the stocks just constantly getting inflated and going up, up, up. It's ridiculous. It's devastating, the way that it's all just been gassed up with the last presidency and so forth. It's all inflated numbers, especially with like COVID and everything. Numbers still hits the stock market 36-time high, like in a recession, basically. Come on, it's impossible. And of course, in certain cases, they had to do some of these things, but it's like there's more money that they were going overseas, all this nonsense, crazy stuff. And so right now is one of those seasons that I truly believe that once, it's been 16 years, basically 16 and a half years or something since the market has actually corrected. And so it's usually 6.5 years. And so this is one of those scenes that it just, something has to give. And so it could feel devastating to many, but those who are prepared, and I feel like a lot are more prepared at this point, those who aren't are going to, blame government, blame the president, blame whoever. They're not going to take responsibility. And some people are really going to be hurt from it. What I would say is this: be prepared. Be prepared. I am not a stocks person, but if you are educated on stocks, then you can be, and you are confident knowing how to move and position yourselves, then you can be prepared to bet on it when the market goes down. You can look at the signs and stay on top of it and know that it's going to bounce back up. And it's going to do this seesaw thing a little bit, pretty drastically, I think, for several times within the next 12 to 18 months. I bet you that's what I'm betting on. With that being said, I do believe there will be eventually, whether it's in the next 30 days or the next 3 months or 6 months, I believe that there will start being somewhat of a run going up. I believe the rates will come down or be forced to come down sometime in the near future. Again, don't know how long that will take. I believe in the next 3 months, something needs to take place, though, on those rates for the refinance to take place with the money that is coming up due and so forth. But again, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of unknown, a lot of chaos. And what that does is stir up opportunities. And with the tariffs, it also brings business opportunities that you just need to start following the money. Follow the money and figure out, because of the tariffs and so forth. Maybe in China, it's costing a lot, but maybe in Mexico, it's cheaper. So maybe, China, like Mexico is getting things from China and then we buy from there. There's things that could be kind of maneuvered, if you will, to actually still make profit and make sense of it. So look out for opportunity because it's everywhere right now. Look out for where the money's going and you'll see power in that. For me personally, I am in a season that we are selling off all the excess, like all the things that are not serving us, like our Ohio properties, for example. I just sold another one this past Monday last week. And so we have just one property over there left and we're finishing doing a renovation. We have about a week left. It is on the market right now, but once we sell that, ideally in the next month or 2, 3 months max, during the springtime is a great time. Somebody's going to buy this. We will sell it. And then after that, we are totally out of all of areas that distract us. I mentioned this last year. I read the book 10X is easier than 2X. The long story short behind that is it's basically just, it's still a great book, but I'll sum it up for you in 2 seconds. It's the 80-20 rule is what they're specifying on. That's the main principle behind it, the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the 20% of your portfolio is like what makes the most of everything, right? And the other 80% is kind of just BS that's holding you back, right? And so if you focus on trying to get rid of some of the 80% and focus on more of the 20%, then it's going to be able to bless you, and you're going to just constantly keep on leveling up. And sometimes just small minor tweaks. So we realized, hey, one thing is get rid of all the Ohio properties. Why? Because it was great in the beginning season 10, 11 years ago when we first started over there and we were working restaurant jobs, and an extra $10,000 a month was incredible for us, and having no money into it and so forth. Perfect. Like that was incredible. Right now, $10,000 a month isn't something that is going to excite me a bunch. And if it takes 2 or 3 hours a month from me and it doesn't feel organized or prepared anymore, then it's more of a distraction and something that I don't want to take my time, energy, or attention away from the 20%, if that makes sense. So that was one thing. Another thing was our Airbnbs. We have ones in New Jersey and out here in San Diego a bunch. And so we realized, hey, that's something that we don't want Jen to be worrying about the Airbnbs and in the middle of the night texting or messaging people. Like we need that to be systemized and outsourced, right? With a professional company that's been there, done that, does it, and can excel at it and can save us the time and attention towards it so that we can, again, get rid of the 80%, focus on the 20% so that we can grow, scale, elevate, and delegate. And so selling, the properties in Ohio, preparing, outsourcing the distractions for Airbnb, and then kind of dialing in, having liquid capital ready to capitalize on opportunities. I think that's the season that you should be in right now. And so maybe you don't have assets to start off with. Maybe you're working a 9 to 5. Maybe it's a high income business right now that you're running, or even just a W-2 high income. Maybe it's uncertainty that you're falling into, like all the government agencies, dodge that, all these government agencies that are getting fired, right? Maybe you're heartbroken from it. Maybe you don't believe in it. I think there's a lot of wasteful debt and it's time to clean the books, and there's a lot of fraudulent stuff going on that should be corrected. So, and it's our taxpayers that are paying for it. So it's pretty reckless to have those positions. I know it doesn't feel right if that's your job and you're like, hey, that wasn't me, but it is somebody within your company. It's somebody within your business and you're working for these people. And I know you worked for a degree and all these other things, and now you're in this position and it sucks getting your job or your security, your safety taken away. But that's what a job is. A job is that. And so, not everybody is made to work for themselves, but everybody, I do believe, is made to invest in themselves, is made to, or should feel morally responsible to take responsibility of your finances, not just rely on a W-2, but also take 10 or 20% of whatever you're making and put it towards investments, put it towards savings, invest in yourself, invest in something, stocks, crypto, whatever, like buy something that can make you double, like get your money to start working for you and start stacking up. Life insurance. There's different ways that you can start becoming the bank and making yourself have more of a safety ground. Even if you are just like, hey, I'm not made for becoming a boss or dealing with that headache or stress or hassle. I love my job. I get it. And I commend you and honor you for like acknowledging that, number one. But it just comes down to, I think it is, super crucial and very important to start filling up these other buckets, and don't ever just rely on one resource such as your W-2, because that could change at any time. That's not, you want time freedom, you want financial freedom, and not relying just on one bucket. When that bucket cracks, like, then what? What are you going to do? And so then it turns into poor me. It turns into horrible situations, and it breaks my heart, but something's got to give. Something needs to change. So what do? I recommend learning how, like, this foundational piece on how to get capital because it takes money to make money. We've all heard that saying. And if it's not taking money, then it's going to take a boatload of time and a lot of sweat equity. And it's going to, and not everybody has that privilege to have time to be able to do it. So if you can prioritize a minimum of 5 hours per week, we know that in Credit Counsel Elite, you can get massive amounts of funding and be able to call these banks, learn how to talk to them properly, and use some of our bank resources as well. We have a list of 9,500 banks. We have it in order from state to state, top to bottom, which ones are giving out the most funding. We have 45 different metrics on how these banks and lenders are judging you. So you know how to talk, you know how to position yourself, you know how to get up to 90% approval odds and up to $2, $3, $4, or even $500,000 plus in new capital with interest rates as low as 0%. What this could do for you is start the new business. It could allow you to diversify. It could allow you to scale a business. It could allow you to invest in real estate. It could prepare you, like you don't need to use this capital, but it could prepare you to actually take advantage of opportunities when they show up. And when they show up, and they will, I believe, in the next 3 to 6, 9 months, I truly believe this wholeheartedly, very heavily, if not in the next 30 days or so. This is the season. This is the time to not sleep or wait for opportunities to pass you by. They will be coming up, and there will be numerous ones. I believe at least 25 plus will be opportunities of chances where you can capitalize on the up, on the down, on the sideways, on the all types of opportunities. And it would be devastating to see that wealth being transferred and you not being able to capitalize off of it. So if you are serious about taking your financial future to the next level, investing in yourself to be able to change the trajectory for your family, for your finances, for your future, and to really go for time freedom and financial freedom, then these are key components that could totally change the trajectory of your future for the greater good. And we've helped out over 3,700 members to date since 2017 to now. And I'm proud to say that I am confident that we have the secret sauce to be able to get you to the end and to the goals that you're looking for. So if that resonates with you, then I encourage you, do not wait any longer. Learn how to get this capital today. Simply go to creditcounselelite.com. That's creditcounselelite.com. Jump on a quick call. There's a quick 10-minute video on that website that you can learn more, that will explain more about what the heck I'm talking about here. But then afterwards, it's going to give you the opportunity to book a call with either myself or somebody on our team to be able to explain more about what we have going on and really listen to where you're at. Like, where are you currently at? What have you tried in the past? Why are you here? Like, what is some of your goals? What are you looking to accomplish? What is the time commitment, the time frame? What type of finances and resources? What's your goal right now to go towards those goals? And how, like, what is your plan right now? Do you need a plan put together? Can we help you diagnose like what the issues are and actually get a roadmap together for you so that you can hit your goal, figure out where you're at and where you're trying to go? If we can discuss that and do it as soon as possible on a free call, I'll pay for the call, absolutely free. It's just I'm paying for our team's time, or myself, our time, to be able to discuss with you, whether it's with you and your business partner, whether it's you and your child, whether it's you and your husband or your wife, like whether it's you and your business partner or life partner. I'm confident that it's going to be able to bless you tremendously. And at least you get a second opinion. Take it for the 2 cents that it is, but take that second opinion, because we've helped out enough people to say confidently that we know what we can do for you, and we know what it can do for you in the longevity of things. So it's something you should at least give the opportunity to. So with that being said, check out creditcounselelite.com. That's again, creditcounselelite.com. If you're not following me on social media, you are messing up. You should change that right now by going to Instagram. It's Brandon Elliott Investments. Otherwise, Instagram, Credit Counsel Elite. Facebook, you guys know, facebook.com/investor or Brandon Elliott. Check me out there. And then, I think YouTube, it's Brandon Elliott Investments as well. So with that being said, love you guys all so much. Happy Easter. Enjoy Enjoy it with friends, enjoy it with family. Remember, Jesus died for our sins. We get fresh oil, fresh life every single day. So if you got to wake up today, you are blessed. You're one of the chosen. And if you are here for another day, then you get an opportunity to make a difference, to make a change. Your time isn't up yet, so make the most out of it. Bless somebody else today, and stay on your mission. Find your purpose, find your passion, and get that energy and get out there. That's something between me and Jen. Passion, more energy. Anyway, love you guys all so much. Have a blessed Easter, blessed week ahead of you. Get out there and crush it. And again, if you're looking for funding, stop wasting your time. We got it all in-house, one solution, whether it's the foundation, understanding how these banks and lenders are judging you, fixing credit, personal credit, business credit, liquidating cash into cards, investment opportunities, travel hacking, you name it. We have the support to give you. We have our own custom app now as well, which is pretty damn cool. Kind of like a little flex. If I was going to flex, I wouldn't be with a Lamborghini, it would be with an app. And we are flexing right now, my friends. So you can check out wherever you download your app store or whatever on your phone, or you can do it on the computer as well. It's Credit Council Elite app. It's cceapp.com. But anyway, love you guys all so much. Have a blessed week ahead, and we'll catch you later. Till next time, God bless. See ya.
This has been another episode of Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, brought to you by Brandon Elliott. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Thanks again for joining. Until next time, God bless.